Hello and welcome to our next video for our treasure chest project. In this video I'm going to show you how to texture our chest, since in the last videos we were able to model and UV unwrapped. So this is what we have. This is a treasure chest, and let's go to UV texture editor, and we can see our UVs here. I'm going to polygons, UV snapshot, and I'm going to browse for a place where I can save my file. I'm going to set this to a 2048 for now. I'm going to keep these. I'm going to make it a Maya IFF file. I'm going to say OK. And that saved our file. So we go to Photoshop. I'm going to File Open. And we're going ahead and look for our file. It will look like this. So I'm going to create a new layer. Let's name our layers first. It's going to be my background, and I'm going to move that down. I'm going to image, it's edit, fill, and I'm going to choose my foreground color, and I'm going to say OK. Just make sure that your colors are set to black and white. I'm going to lock the transparency for this layer. For the actual UV layer that has our UV. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to edit, fill. This time I'm going to change that to my background color, which in this case is white. And it fills our UV space here. You should have something that looks similar to this. So I'm going to place my image, and you can get this image from my website, which is a wood image. I'm going to move. I'm actually going to press Ctrl J so that I can duplicate this layer. And I'm actually I want to keep my original images, so I'm going to create a folder for my originals. And I'm going to place that original image in there, and I'm just going to disable the visibility so that I don't work on that one for now. So if I hold down, let's move this one, and I'm going to hold down Alt and left mouse click, you can see that I can duplicate this layer. I'm just going to move that to the side, and you can hold down Shift if you wanted to be in the side. If you wanted to stay in the side, and I'm going to select both layers, and I'm going to merge layers. I think I'm going to do another duplicate. I'm going to move that down. And I'm going to merge the layers. Now I'm going to click on my UV layer, and I'm going to select this tool right here, and I'm going to click outside here just so that I select this area. I'm going to enable my wood texture, and I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to delete just so I can get something like this. And I'm going to use the marquee select and just delete everything else. And this is actually the whole process. This is everything that we're going to do. We're going to continue to do that with our wood texture and the other areas of our model. And then we're going to bring maybe a metal texture. I'm actually just going to use 2 textures for this. Although you can always use more, you can always overlap some textures so that you can have more, so the texture can look more unique. So I'm going to save my file, I'm going to save it as a Photoshop file. That's no problem in this case. It's going to be my diffuse file. And now I'm going back to Maya. And I'm going to assign a new material. I'm going to choose a lumber in this case. And I'm going to choose a Photoshop file this time because this is a Photoshop file. And I'm going to go ahead and get my texture. And this is how it should be looking, where we can start to see our actual texture on our model. So this is actually going to be our process. We're going to go to Photoshop and texture, and then we'll come back to Maya and see what everything looks like. So actually this time let me go get my wood texture back so I can work with it. I'm going to duplicate it, get it out of that group. I'm going to press Ctrl T to rotate it, as you saw there. And I'm going to click on my UV layer and use the same technique. I'm going to click outside on this time. Let me go ahead and enable my texture here. And if I try to delete, it gets me this message, which means I'm using a smart object, and I'm going to rasterize it. So now I can delete it. Again, the textures can be found on my website, or you can always go and create an account for CG Textures, which is an excellent website. They have plenty of textures there that you can use. So let's go back to Maya. Once you save your file, you're going to reload the image, as you can see here. We can see that our texture is coming along. And we're going to continue and use the same process for the whole object. So as I said, if you want to get a good selection of textures, you can go to cgtextures.com. They have really nice textures there. They have a good library that you can use. That's actually the website where I get my textures most of the time. Or you can get this for this particular tutorial. You can get these textures from my website. I have the two image files that we're going to use for in this case. And in this case I'm going to delete. Notice that I'm deleting the areas that I don't want. If you wanted to be more careful about making sure that you do this in a non-destructive way, you can always use masking. That way you can always have the texture there without losing anything. So in this case I'm actually deleting the texture, but you can always use masking in order to preserve that texture. But in this case I'm just going to delete the areas that I don't really want. And this is pretty much the whole process that we're going to continue for this video, and we're going to use the same process over and over until we have the whole model textured. And in the next video I'm going to show you how to use how to do a quick lighting. It's going to be a quick lighting lesson. Make sure that the wood panels look around the same size. In this case mine look a little smaller for the side view, but I'm just going to keep it for now. You can always make sure that they are, you can always finesse the look of the model. So now I got my other texture, which is my metal texture in this case. I'm going to make a duplicate and put that in my original images. And I'm going to duplicate this one. So I'm going to flip that image. And I just want to make sure that there's not a huge seam there. It's not too noticeable that I have two textures next to each other. I'm just going to delete. Obviously you can probably do a better job than that. I'm just trying to do this a little quick. And we're going to do the same thing that we did with our wood texture. I'm just going to delete the areas I don't really want for now. So this is pretty much going to be the whole process. We're going to continue to do the same thing. So I'm going to leave you for now, and you can continue to see what the whole process is. I'm just going to continue, and it's going to be the same process for the whole video. So I'm going to leave you for now, and in the next video I'm going to show you how to do some easy quick lighting.